Whether you're new to Final Cut Pro or you've been using it for a while, stop. Today, I'm going to show you 7 things you need to do right now to help you edit faster and safer in Final Cut Pro and make better videos. First thing you need to do, if you haven't yet, is turn off automatic updates on your Mac. I know it's convenient having all your stuff up to date, but if you rely on Final Cut Pro for your paycheck, you'll want to be in full control of the updates. Now, normally, every update Apple releases is thoroughly tested, but as we've seen with the 10.6.7 update, this isn't guaranteed. The last thing you'll want is to be halfway through a project and have either a basic function or maybe one of your plugins you're using broken. To turn off automatic updates, go to the App Store, open up Settings, and deselect automatic updates. When a new version of Final Cut Pro is released, just wait a few days and see if others are having any issues with it before updating. A good source of information for this is FCPX. This is an amazing website for anything Final Cut Pro related and even has a dedicated section for updates and any known issues. When you do decide to update Final Cut Pro, you should always make a backup copy of your Final Cut Pro version itself and your libraries. To back up the Final Cut Pro application, and this is the official method from Apple, go to your Applications folder and make a new folder inside here. Name this folder with a name and version of the app you're backing up. So Final Cut Pro 10.7.1 for example. Next, select the Final Cut Pro application and choose File and Compress. Once this is done, move the .zip file into the folder you just made. Move this folder to a backup drive. Now, when you update Final Cut Pro and something doesn't work like it's supposed to, you can always go back. Another thing to consider when updating Final Cut Pro is once you open a library in a new version, you have to update the library. Once updated, these libraries will no longer open in older versions of Final Cut Pro, so you need to back these up too. Simply navigate to your library's location in Finder, right-click on it, and select Duplicate. Move this copy of your library to your backup drive as well. 90% of the time you won't need any of this, but when you do, you'll be glad you have it. When you do get into Final Cut Pro, before you do any more editing, there's a few settings you should change. Press Command to open up your settings window, and let's start in the General tab. Here, change your default color correction tools to whatever you prefer using. I like color wheels, so if I change this to color wheels, anytime I go to my color inspector, I get color wheels right away. Saves a couple clicks every time. Next, in the Editing tab, deselect Position Playhead after Edit operation. With this option enabled, when you add anything to your timeline, the playhead is moved to the end of that clip. So if you want to preview what you just added, you have to move it back. If you disable this option, when you make any edits to your timeline, the playhead stays where it is. In the Playback tab, deselect Background Rendering to keep your libraries from getting ridiculously big, and turn on the Scrolling Timeline. This is a welcome addition to the 10.7 update that automatically scrolls your timeline as you play back your project. Set your preferred import settings in the Import tab, and clean up your shared destinations in the Export tab. Here, get rid of anything you won't use, and add anything you might need, like the Save Current Frame preset. One thing you can add to Final Cut Pro that will really elevate your editing is quality plugins. And there's no one out there that makes better quality Final Cut Pro plugins than today's sponsor, MotionVFX. Installing and updating plugins is super simple with MInstaller, and if you ever have an issue with any plugin, which doesn't happen very often, majority of the time you can easily fix it by repairing or reinstalling the plugin. I've been using MotionVFX plugins for a long time, and I've only had to do this once. But the real beauty of MotionVFX plugins is when you actually start to use them. Take M-Trip for example. With this one plugin, you get camera movement presets to spice up your boring landscape shots, a bunch of cool overlays, split screen effects, transitions, LUTs, and almost 30 title presets that look amazing, especially for travel videos. And MotionVFX has teamed up with Insta360 to make all these presets compatible with 360 video. Because what's a travel video without some cool 360 shots? Every preset looks amazing straight out of the box, but everything is also fully customizable to help you match your brand. Attention to detail like this is what makes MotionVFX stand out above the rest. If you've ever tried any MotionVFX plugins, you know, and if you're just thinking about dipping your toes, now is a great time to start. from December 25th to January 3rd, you can get 25% off any plugin or $60 back in M credits with an annual subscription to Cinestudio by using the coupon code GREAT2024. I'll link everything down below. Next, let's set up some defaults so we can save some time with keyboard shortcuts. If you have a preferred title preset or a transition you use all the time, you can assign that preset to a keyboard shortcut. Let's start with a title. Select your preferred title, right-click on it, and make it your default title. To add this to your project, instead of wasting time looking for it, you can just use the keyboard shortcut Ctrl-T to add it to your timeline. You can actually set up another title preset as your default lower third and add it to your timeline with Shift-Ctrl-T. Transitions are the same. Select your preferred transition, right-click on it, and make it your default. Add it to your timeline with Command-T. You can even set up a default share destination. Go back to your settings window, right-click on the one you want, and make default. To export your project using this preset, just use the keyboard shortcut Command-E. While on the topic of keyboard shortcuts, you need to modify yours. Go up to the menu bar, select Final Cut Pro, Command Sets, and Customize. You can't change the default command set, so you first need to duplicate it and give it a name. Now, modifying this should be an ongoing process, but basically, you want your most used commands to be the easiest to execute. For example, I blade my clips all the time, so it doesn't really make sense to have to push 2 keys for this. To modify this, click on the B key on your virtual keyboard, grab the blade command, and drag it up to the no modifier spot. Now, let's search for the blade tool command, grab it, and add it to the command modifier spot. There's also some commands that don't have any keyboard shortcuts assigned to them. For example, if you search for timeline scrolling, there's no keyboard shortcut assigned to it. If you want to easily turn this on and off, you need to add a keyboard shortcut for this. The S key makes the most sense here, and we have an empty spot with a command modifier. Grab your action and drag it to the spot. Now, instead of going to the settings window every time you need to toggle this feature, you can just press Command S. As you edit your project, assign, modify, and use as many keyboard shortcuts as you can. It'll save you a ton of time. Another feature that can save you a ton of time is text presets. If you like to format all your titles the same style to keep on brand, you can make the style a text preset. After adjusting your title in the text inspector, scroll back up to the top and open the text styles drop-down menu. Select Save All Format and Appearance attributes and give this preset a name. Next time you need to format your text, instead of going through all the steps again, just open the Styles drop-down and select your save style. So much faster than doing this manually. And last, but definitely not least, if you use Final Cut Pro to edit your videos, you need to get Motion and Compressor apps to go with it. If you want to know why you need Motion, watch this video right here. And for Compressor, watch this one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you back here in the next one.